Hello, receiving students, teachers, and Sixi. Thank you. You may take your seats. All right. In our last lesson, we looked at gas. What is gas? And we looked at some properties of gas. Now, Sixi and receiving students, can anyone give me an example or a property of gas? Sixi and receiving students. We looked at the properties of gas. Lorraine. Thank you, Lorraine.
Cooking gas.
Yes, gas. But my question is, give me an example or one property of gas. Alice. Alison. Thank you, Alison.
Cooking gas.
Again,
Cooking gas.
good try, good try. I'm not asking you to give me examples of gas substance, okay? Properties of gas. Ellen. Thank you, Ellen.
Gas is air that we breathe through.
Okay, gas is air that we breathe through, okay? That's correct, but that is not the answer that I'm looking for. Emmanuel, thank you, Emmanuel.
Gas has no fixed shape.
Gas,
Gas has no fixed shape.
very good. Gas has no fixed shape. That's one property of gas. Vanessa.
Gas can be compressed into smaller volume.
Very good. Gas can be compressed or squashed into smaller volume. Michaeline. Michaeline, thank you.
Gas has no fixed volume.
No fixed volume. Yes, okay. That's correct. Okay, we cannot say gas has no fixed volume. Okay? Because it is not a liquid, correct?
Yes.
So we cannot say it has no fixed volume. Last one. Okay, gas has no fixed shape, but it takes up space. That's the last one, okay?
Take up space.
Okay, very good. So these are some properties of
Gas.
gas that we looked at in our last lesson. Very good. Okay, we are still looking at the same strand, receiving teachers, students, and 6C, substrand, and the outcome. We are still looking at the same strand, substrand, and the outcome. And our topic for today's lesson, can solid, liquid, and gas change their state? Can solid, liquid, and gas change their state? That is our topic for today's lesson. Okay, very good. Now, receiving students and 6C. In this lesson, we will do an experiment to describe the change of state of matter. We will do an experiment to describe the change of state of matter. That's what we will do in our lesson. Okay, receiving teachers, you should have the materials with you. Here we have a match lighter, a candle, and a tin to place the candle on top. So what you will do, receiving students and 6C, while I am doing this experiment with the candle, are we following, receiving students and 6C?
Yes.
You will observe and you will discuss with your friends, okay, what is happening to the candle. And then I will give you questions to answer. Are we clear, receiving students and 6C? Okay, very good. While I'm doing the experiment with the candle, I want you to watch carefully. Okay, you watch carefully and you discuss with your friends. Okay, I want you to observe. While the candle is melting, observe very carefully and you discuss what is happening to the candle. Receiving students, you can, if your teacher have the candles with them, you observe and you discuss with your friends. Okay, we all know that candle is a solid, is an example of a solid. Now, when we light up the candle, what happened to the candle? Remember, we are looking at the topic. The topic is, can solid, liquid, and gas change their state? Okay, 6C and receiving students. As you can see, the candle is melting. Now, if I turn this upside down, let's see. Okay, we can see that what is happening to the candle? It's melting. And what do you see on the side of the candle? Huh? Wax, huh? Okay, wax is dripping down. Okay. So we have the wax there. Very good. Okay, now that you have observed the candle and you have already discussed what is happening to the candle, receiving students and 6C, I have some questions here for you to answer. Okay, we have 6 questions. Question number one, what happened to the candle? It's a straightforward question. You should be able to answer that question within seconds, not even a minute. Question number 2, why did the candle melt? Question number 3, what happened to the melted wax? What happened to the melted wax? And question number 4, explain in your own words what made the solid candle to liquid and liquid turn back to solid. Question number 4, explain in your own words what made the solid candle to liquid and liquid turn back to solid. It shouldn't take you long because you have already observed the experiment with the candle. By now you should be able to answer those questions. Okay, write only the answers. Some of us are very slow, that's why I'm asking you to write only the answers. Rodney, you will answer question number 1. Question number 1. Vanessa, question number 2. Question number 2. Question number 3. Taylor. Maculin, I done with question number 4. Question number 4. The heat, heat, H-E-A-T. The heat turned the candle into liquid, and then when okay. Okay, when it is heated, it changes from solid to liquid, and when it is cooled or when it cools down, it changes back to liquid or solid wax. So when it cools down, it changes back to solid again. Cool, C-O-O-L. Manuel. Melt the candle to liquid. Melt the candle to liquid. Okay. So candle is an example of a solid. Okay. Then the wax sticks together again, and it became a solid. After when? After it cools down. When I put off the candle, it cools down and it turns back to solid. Okay, let's have our answers. Receiving students, you can give your answers to your teacher. May I have Rodney to come to the front and write his answer on the whiteboard. Thank you for question number 1. Okay, question number 1, what happened to the candle? That's the question. Question number 1. Okay, what happened to the candle? It was melting or it melted. Okay, thank you. Rodney, question number 2. Question number 2. Vanessa, why did the candle melt? Okay, our answer for question number 2, why did the candle melt? Because of the heat. Okay, is she correct? Yes, very good. Question number 3, what happened to the melted wax? Michaeline, can you come to the front? What happened to the melted wax? Solid. ED. 10 to solid. ID. Okay, very good. What happened to the melted wax? It dries up and tend to solid. And our last question number 4. Emmanuel, come to the front. Thank you. back this way. Okay, thank you, Emmanuel. Let's look at Emmanuel's answer. At first, the heat of the flame melted the candle to liquid. Then when it cools down, it turns back to solid. Okay, so when I put off or put out the candle, it cools down and it turns back to solid. Okay, very good. So those are our answers for our activity, question 1 to 4. Let's look at our summary. Okay, our summary for today's lesson. Okay, as you can see, you have the change of state. Words used to describe the change, and heat or cool to make the change. So we have solid to liquid. Solid, the change of state here is solid to liquid, the first one. Words used to describe the change is melting. So when solid changes to liquid, the word to describe the change is melting. And it is applied. When it is applied, then solid changes from solid to liquid. Okay? And the next one, liquid to gas. What is the word used to describe this change? Liquid to gas. Evaporation. Okay? And it is involved to make that change. Gas to liquid. The word used to describe this change of state is condensation. Okay, gas to liquid. And we have the cool. Cool takes place to make this change. And liquid to solid. What is the word used to describe this change? Liquid to solid. Solidification, or we say freezing. And cool is involved to make that change. So we have the different change of states and the words used to describe those change, and we have heat or cool that is involved to make this change of state. So this is our summary for today's lesson. And our key phrase for today's lesson, changing states of matter. That's our key phrase for today's lesson. And our next lesson will be on, can it be mixed? That's our next lesson topic. And the materials that will be needed for the next lesson, receiving students and teachers, please take note of that. We have different substances found around water, stones, trees, desks, books, markers, and student workbooks. Those are the materials that will be needed for our next lesson. With that, thank you, receiving students, teachers, and 6C for your participation.